Alrighty, so I wanted to come on and do a dream share on shoes. And so very, very, very excited about this particular dream share. Um, and let me go over the scripture that inspired this share. Okay, one of the versions is John 1 and 27. He it is who coming after me is preferred before me, whose shoes latchet I am not worthy to unloose. And so I was like, wow, that is extremely powerful, more than I can even say. Because John the Baptist was speaking and he was basically saying that the shoes of Christ, he said he wasn't even worthy enough to unloose the strap, you know? Oh my God. And so let's go into this share really quickly. If God is dealing with you, it has dealt with you on shoes, whether that be boots, canvas shoes, sneakers, sandals, formal wear, high heels. And so let's just kind of go into a share concerning shoes. Okay, so the feet we know is the foundation of the body. Everything stands upon the feet, right? And then shoes are made to fit the feet. Okay. And so shoes serve a purpose and they also point to a purpose. Okay. So shoes have specific designs. They have specific designs. They have a specific style and or fashion. Okay. And so, whenever you're dealing with a shoe, it can point to what God is saying about your walk, okay? Because you walk on shoes, you walk in shoes. Your feet is inside the shoe. Shoes are also meant to be fitted, okay? So sometimes we have to be fitted for shoes, okay? So that means that even what our responsibility or what God is calling us to do, God is working on that. And so he can show you going from shoe to another shoe. And so I had a dream in which a pastor or a leader was taking a friend of mine and I to the mall to be fitted with new shoes. But we had these two huge big trash bag size full of canvas shoes because I poured them out to see what was in there. And I was like, what is all of this, in the dream? So when I began to pour it out, it was full of canvas shoes. And so basically what God was saying is that no more will your walk be casual. No more will you do a regular type of walk. Okay. You're fixing to come up. You're being promoted. So we're fixing to go and get you new shoes. And normally when you go shopping for new shoes, yes, you're coming out of the ones you have. And many times in this day, because we have so much, you may be going to get more shoes. But in this dream, he was talking about a whole nother style. Okay. And so the style of our walk, what we're called to do, is it a casual walk? Is it a business walk? Is it a walk where you stretch your stuff like you would in a heel or a high heel? I'm sorry. And so shoes have a particular meaning, purpose, style, and fashion, was basically what I was trying to say earlier when I kept stumbling with my words. And so let's look at the high heel real quick. Okay, so the high heels were not originally meant for women. High heels were originally meant for men because when they would ride on horseback, it caused their feet to be able to fit into the stirrup. So the high heel shoe was developed for men as far back as history notes it. Okay, so another thing about high heels is that it lifts the heel up off the ground. So you're not necessarily in a low place. The foot is not treading in a low place, on a low position. So it could mean promoted to high position, to walk in the heights of a place. Okay. And so height could have everything to do with you being called to a high place. You're being called to walk amongst leadership. It could be meant to call to walk in a lot of favor, high places, favor, wisdom, leadership, authority. And so shoes or high heels, business, can can have those meanings. You want to look at the context of the dream, because the things that surround the dream, the context, the where, the who is involved, what was actually seen or revealed in the dream matters. And so that will also bring meaning to the dream and as to what God is saying through the dream. Another thing about, if we were to move on, I mentioned canvas in the DreamShare that I just did, and then sneakers. So canvas and sneakers are two different types of shoes. Okay, so canvas is made more for regular shoe wearing, and it also does not necessarily, depending on what style and what brand. You got Converse, you got Kids. You know, when I did the research and went back as far as Kids, and you have, and these are just examples. There's all kinds, and then you have Converse, Kids. You can have I said Converse, Kids, or Vans. Maybe that's the one I was missing. Vans. And so canvas shoes a lot of times don't cover the whole foot. Sneakers do, and sneakers are usually laced. Okay, so you can lace up, because sneakers are meant for, also called athletic shoes, and they're meant for physical exertion. They have a better grip. You know, of course, we know that sneakers nowadays have so many styles and fashions, and, you know, even can serve different purposes, you know, of running, of comfort, of walking, you know, power walking, all these kind of things. But the main thing about sneakers is that it is for rigorous activity. Okay. You want to be able to stop when you need to stop, you know, when you're running. You want to be able to pivot the foot, you know, do various moves, where a canvas shoe is just meant for normal, regular walking. Okay. It's meant for casual walking. You're just going somewhere. You're just going up the street. You're just going to be walking in the store and coming out. It's not meant to do vigorous activity that calls for high levels of exertion. So, also, athletic shoes also represent someone who is skilled. Okay, so when you're wearing an athlete shoe, okay, you're skilled in a particular area, and so God could be speaking to, you know, you're called to walk in a skill of a particular field, a particular career path. You may have something where you're going to really, really, really be exerting a lot of energy in what you're called to do. And so that's another thing that you want to look at when it comes to athlete shoes. So going back to that dream, so you can see now, after explaining some of these things, that God was saying this is not going to be a regular walk. When you go to the shopping mall and when you get fitted for some new shoes, it is you're going to serve a better purpose, or a more skilled purpose, or what have you. So anyhow, also sneakers, I was just looking over my notes to make sure I got everything. Stability is another word for sneakers. Sneakers was also in history originally to sneak around, you know, so your footsteps couldn't be heard. And so, you know, you just can note that if you wanted to, depending on just what all you wanted to learn about the sneaker and what all you wanted to know. Okay. One of the things about the shoe as well is it, like, say for instance, we did the high heel. It changes the gait, Gait, or the style of the walk. Heels affect the hips. It affects the swing. And so it could represent a lot of things. It could represent sophistication, femininity, ladylike, style. And so we know that shoes can say a lot about how the person will walk and what it is they're called to do. And so it could also mean, say for instance, you had a shoe and it wasn't built right, or there was something wrong with the shoe. I can remember having a shoe in a dream where I was limping because the heel was like broken off. So it caused instability. And so in the dream, who I was with, God was saying, being with this person is causing an instability to your walk. You're not going to walk as stable as what you would be if you were not with this person that was in the dream. So God could be saying different things. Yet in the dream, the way I was dressed and where I was at, noted that I needed to be able to walk with skill. I needed to be able to walk in high places without this disability. limping. You see what I'm saying? And so sometimes God is trying to correct us, correct something that we're doing, correct something about our life, about our choices. So shoes have everything to do with that. You can have worn shoes. You can have outdated shoes. You can have shoes that's not fit. And so God is speaking through these particular cues that are in the dream. And so anyway, I wanted to do just a really short dream share insight on shoes, so that I could put this on here without someone having to watch a whole hour of expounding on it, in which I also did in another video. And so anyway, I pray that this was helpful to you. I pray that this brought forth insight. All right, you be blessed.